Okay, so let's talk about the journey of packet, because based on that only all these tools and products or services and skills will be applied either on the defense side or on the attack side. Okay, so let us understand the very fundamentals of networking, which is very, very important, because only when the packet is moving from A to B you need cybersecurity for. Just imagine there is no internet, then of course very bare minimum level of security is required on devices. Only when the devices move from A to B, huge amount of efforts are required to protect the information, right? Because you get speed moving data from one place to another, but then the drawback is you have to provide the security on top of it. So all of you who are starting their career in cybersecurity, those who are familiar with networking, well and good. If not, the very first thing which you need to understand is the OSI model. Okay. OSI layers. Okay, this is the very first thing, the very, very fundamental. So if you are a client, again it could be a laptop, desktop or mobile, because these are the things which you use to connect on the other side. So if this is your source, okay, on the other side you will have a similar device and we call it as a destination, and in common terms as a server. So this could be a server. Server is nothing but a high-end device which is having more RAM and CPU, and that becomes a server. So your laptop may have 8 GB RAM, server maybe 32 GB, 64 GB and much more than that, because it has to hold a lot of information and it has to connect to many clients. So maybe 10,000, 1 million, 2 million clients are connected to few servers, right? So server is a very powerful hardware which is having the information, people access it, right? So now you are moving from this source to this destination via internet service provider. Like in India you have Airtel, Vodafone, Reliance, right? So you connect your laptop to that ISP, internet service provider. And so you have the server. Now you want to move from here, ISP, and then you go to another ISP. And similarly, on the server side, there will be another ISP, and they all connect via multiple ISPs. And this, by the way, is called internet, because on this infrastructure, more machines can get connected. One more laptop, another server, they are also connected and they can talk to each other, right? But the fundamental technique which you have to understand is how packet is moving from one machine to another, and then you will be able to apply the same logic between any two machines for that matter. Now coming back to OSI layer, when the data is moved from A to B, it has to follow certain protocols. Like you talk about postal systems, right? Nowadays people are not using it, but in earlier days when the internet was not that popular, people used to write letters and they will put it in an envelope and they will put an address, source and destination, obviously, because if letter has to return back to you because of wrong address, it should ultimately reach you. And there you mention the name, the area, the state, country, and that's how you are able to send a packet from one place to another, right? Similarly, this is also an information and it has to follow certain protocols when it moves from one place to another. And that OSI layer is a fundamental, the concept which talks about how a message or the data should move from A to B. And everybody, all vendors must follow that particular protocol. If that is not the case, if OSI and TCP/IP is another popular model, which is one of the versions of OSI, is people can create their own protocols. They can follow their own way of handling the data between A to B, right? But when so many vendors are there, so many organizations are there, they have to follow certain universal guidelines, right? And that's where the OSI layers comes into picture. So you have to, so these are the concepts which you have to go a little deeper in that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just introducing you to this OSI model, and this is very, very important for you to understand how packet is moving, and then you can take out your own time and learn more about these entire concepts. So when you learn more about this, it is primarily divided into 7 layers. So layers 7, 6, 5, 4. So first layer is called physical layer. Physical, this is called data link. This is network. This is transport. This is session, presentation, and application. These are the 7 layers. On the other side, it's the reverse. You know, when the packet is moving here, so data is here, like you are a client, you are using a browser, correct? You are the user. Opening up a browser and typing google.com. You are actually accessing the application layer. So browser is the client software for you, which is happening at layer 7. Now data moves into the next below layer. So as you can see, the files which are shown in browser, it could be in the form of HTML, or if it is a video, it could be MP4, JPEG. These are all the formats of the file. So that represents your presentation part. Browser and protocol at the top. You are getting the data. Data has certain format. Format is decided in the session, in the presentation layer. Now this entire information, when you are using as a client, you can open multiple sessions, right? You can open in one tab, you can open Google, another tab you can open Facebook, third tab you can open purplesynapse.com. So all these 3 communications, or maybe in parallel you are using a client software, right? So your computer should know what data and where exactly it has to push. So these are primarily maintained by the session part of your operating system. Okay, so this is called the session layer, where when you send the data and when the data is coming back to you, it should know that I should open in google.com and I should come on a tab which is looking for purplesynapse.com, right? So computer should know that information, and that is how it is maintained at session layer of a computer. Transport layer, once you have a data, now you want to send the entire information from source to destination. So we are talking about from source part. So browser, you typed http www.google.com, HTML, all those logs will come in. So far there is no log because you are just still typing. Session is like it is open up a computer, tells that yes, I am going to handle this information, that particular website. In transport, that information will be broken down into multiple chunks. So if you are sending a file, obviously file will be a couple of MBs long, right? You cannot send this entire file in one shot. So you have to cut that data into multiple small pieces. So transport layer is the one which is going to cut the information into multiple pieces. And then comes the network layer. Network layer is basically the addressing part. So you give some local address, your source address, and then the destination address. And in that address, you put this data, correct? So you will get sequence number and everything else in transport layer. And it is going to talk about the port numbers, which again I am going to talk about in the next session. But at this point of time, you just believe that yes, this is how it works. So you have the top application layer where applications are getting used, presentation where data is stored in certain format, session which is maintaining for various communications which you are doing, right, by the computer, your source, and then the transport is like where you divide the data and put some sequence number against it, and the port which you are opening it, network which is having an address, source address, destination address between this machine and this machine. So 7, 6. Correct? So here also you are going to have a destination address. This is where you are going to define. So data link layer is the local delivery part. So you cannot send the data from source to destination. Suppose if you're trying to access Google, which is hosted in USA, these IP addresses are sufficient because they are globally unique. But the data link layer is next hop. You cannot send the data directly. Suppose if you want to go to Delhi from Bangalore, you cannot directly go there. Like you go to local airport first, and from there you travel. Like maybe you take a taxi from your home to airport and then move further from there. So data link is primarily from that perspective. So between your computer, source computer, to the next immediately available router or a switch, how the data is going to move, right? So that is where all this communication and all the protocols are defined at layer 2 level. And physical layer is an actual wire. Let me see if I can show it to you. So this is a wire, like it is quite popular, is Cat5 cable, which is connected to the most of the organizations laptop and servers. And but you have Wi-Fi as well for connectivity part. So those cables will be used at the physical part, which will be used to transport the information to the next device, to the next device, to the next device, and this is how finally you are able to reach to the destination. And that comes in the physical layer, basically the signaling part, where suppose in terms of copper, it's a voltage. When you connect it, there is slight voltage which is passed on to represent the data. So this is how the data leaves your computer and goes to this layer, and they decide where exactly this packet has to go. The routing is going to happen at the routers, which could be in your own office or it could be at the ISP side, right? So they decide where the packet will go. Suppose you are accessing a website which is hosted in India, so those routers will decide, okay, let's go to the next router which is having a link to the Indian website. If it is to the USA, it goes to multiple routers and ultimately it will exit the country, goes to the next continent, and finally it enters the seashore via sea cable, and then it reaches to the actual destination and packet comes back. So that's a fascinating journey which is happening, right? So once the packet reaches over there, it is received in cable in terms of voltage or in terms of light if it's a fiber optic, right? Or in terms of frequency if it is a Wi-Fi, and then moves back to the layer 2. And it takes out the data link addresses away, and whatever is left out, it hands over to the next layer. It will check the destination address. Yes, it belongs to them. So it removes that header and put the data to the transport layer, and then to the session layer, and finally it reaches to the application layer. So as you can see here, it moves like this, the request, and the reply comes exactly in the opposite direction. Okay. So this is how the reply packet is going to come by the same journey. Obviously, now the question is, when the first time I am doing it, will I have some data here at transport? No. So everything will be blank at that point of time, right? Or some standard information which will be provided. Once the data reaches over there and this server has to fetch the information, it is going to break the information at its own level, and then finally it is getting collected here, arranged in a particular sequence order, and handed over to the application, and that's how we are able to see all our information. All our emails we are able to read, WhatsApp messages we are able to read, and everything else, right? So this is the journey of packet which I was talking about. Now all these things are fascinating things are happening in the background. Now people can steal the information, how to protect at each and every layer, right? And this is where the security comes into picture, right? So this is what I thought I will be able to share with all of you, but I encourage you to read more about that particular topic, so that you will have fair understanding before you go to the other sessions. But if you are already familiar with that, very good, you can go ahead and attend the other sessions, and I wish you best of luck, and you can participate, you can share your thoughts, you can share the suggestions, and if you want any particular topic to be explained in certain way, feel free to connect to me directly. I am available on LinkedIn and Facebook, and you can always get in touch with us, and we will make sure that we are able to get back to you with all the information what you are looking for. Thanks for watching the video, and good luck and happy learning.